If you're watching this, it's probably because you're considering moving to or buying a property in a mountain town. In this video, I'm gonna go over 5 reasons why you might not want to actually move to a mountain town, or specifically here in Breckenridge. I'm Betsy Repaske. I'm a realtor here in Breckenridge, Colorado in Summit County, and probably like you, I used to visit here as a tourist on vacation before I moved here. And now that we've lived here for a couple years, I have some takes on reasons why you might not want to. Number 1, and this one's gonna seem, actually a lot of these are gonna seem pretty obvious. This one's gonna seem pretty obvious though. If you don't like winter, don't move to a mountain town. It's one thing to come for like a weekend. If you're not prepared to drive in it and dress for it all the time, because it's like 8 or 9 months of the year, don't move to a mountain town. I don't own any shoes that I wear in the winter that don't have like inch-thick tread on them and aren't insulated. I literally have Denver shoes, like cute shoes that I wear when I'm not in the mountains. And we have all-wheel drive vehicles and snow tires. You just have to deal with snow all the time, right? This is what it looks like outside right now. If you're not prepared to deal with winter for most of the year, you shouldn't move here. Number 2, like I mentioned before I moved here, I came here a lot on vacation. If you don't have patience for out-of-towners or tourists, you shouldn't move here. Conversely, there's a lot of money to be made here because we are a vacation town. If you are a hardworking entrepreneurial person, there are so many job openings here and so many services that are needed. That's great. But if you are annoyed by tourists, in general, don't move to a mountain town. Don't move to any vacation town. Reason number 3 why you might not want to move to a mountain town. We are small towns, so that does mean that like there is some of the small town vibe where everybody kind of knows everybody. It also means that we don't have some of the big conveniences that you're gonna have in larger cities like Denver. You know, there's only a handful of yoga studios and we don't have a spin studio. So you're like, your fitness choices are different. Now, mind you, like we live in the middle of the national forest, so like we live here because we want to be outside. But there's other things, right? Like if you use specific makeup, you're probably gonna need to order it. Or like this one's super specific. I pulled out my nose stud. There's no piercers here. I'm probably just gonna let it heal up because I didn't want to make a trip to Denver just to keep my nose piercing from healing. So there's like just like right there some little inconveniences. If you need a pair of like swim goggles in January, you're probably gonna have to order them. And this is like maybe like 3.1, 3 part B, is that when you order things, shipping takes longer up here. 2-day Prime is not really a thing. It's more like 4 or 5 day Amazon Prime. So you just have to plan ahead. Reason number 4, you're probably gonna actually end up spending more time in your car than maybe you did if you lived in a city, just because things are farther away and because of our weather and out-of-town drivers who aren't necessarily comfortable on our mountain roads. Sometimes getting places can take longer than you anticipate. Somewhere that maybe takes you 10 minutes to get to in the summer could on a bad day take you 25 or 30 if you get stuck behind a snowplow or someone who doesn't have good snow tires and is super nervous. So if you get annoyed easily by other drivers or by having to plan extra time into your day for driving, maybe don't come live in the mountains. And the number 1 thing, which I recognize I'm actually telling you is number 5, is that it is expensive. The cost of living up here, because it is very desirable to live here, because here in Summit County, right, we have 4 ski resorts and over 60% of the land in the county is national forest. It's beautiful, everyone wants to live here. And when something's in demand, it means it's expensive. So it is expensive to live up here. Some of the other reasons it's expensive to live up here is because it's a vacation town. So, you know, our restaurants cost a little more. I don't think that a cocktail costs me any more up here than it necessarily does in, say, Denver or Chicago. But if you're thinking about moving here from a small town in the Midwest, you might be shocked at what some of the things cost. So you just need to be prepared for that higher cost of living and especially a higher cost of real estate. The cost of food and groceries is slightly higher, but not as high as the cost of owning a home or of rent. Right now in spring of 2022, the average rent for 1 bedroom, not a 1 bedroom you have by yourself, just per bedroom, is about $1,500 per month, which if you're moving up here just like because you want the mountain life, you need to plan to get a job that can pay for that. And I will say that my opinion is that you can make money up here if you're willing to work hard, but you do need to be prepared for it to cost a little bit more to live here. So if you're considering moving here full time, or if you're considering buying a vacation home up here, hopefully these tips are helpful to maybe convince you not to, or maybe you went, I can deal with all those things. It's worth it to be in the mountains. In which case, give me a call. I would love to help you find the place of your own up here in the mountains.